Hi, Bob Wilkins here again with an update of a previous video I did on lighting a HO Caboose. This video can apply to a wide variety of HO scale cabooses that were used up until the 1980s on American railroads. I chose this Bachmann HO scale Erie caboose as a representative of the most common type of these models. This installation uses a lighting kit available from the website modeltrainsounds.com. This kit includes red LEDs for the rear and options of a white or yellow for the cabin based on the time era of the caboose. The electronic components for the light circuit are here, while the wheel sets with copper collars for electric pickup come as 33-inch metal wheels, though 36-inch are also available if requested. The caboose will of course need to be disassembled. The trucks are removed by detaching whatever holding method is used to secure these to the caboose. In this case, small screws hold the wheel trucks in place. The trucks are removed to expose the 4 holding clips in the corners. These clips are carefully pried to release them from the cabin. Use a small flat-bladed fine screwdriver and safety razor blade to accomplish this task. Examine how the metal plates are secured on the floor. These weights are needed to ensure good track contact of the metal wheels to the track to pick up the electric current. Here the plates are held by a screw in the center. Once the screw is taken out, the plates can be removed. This central screw hole will be used to thread the wires from the cabin to the wheels. The next step is to prepare the LED driver unit from these 3 components. The bridge rectifier converts bidirectional current from the track to only one current direction and into the capacitor. The capacitor, which stores and smooths the current to prevent flickering, then passes it to the LED current limiting chip. This LED chip puts out a maximum of 20 milliamps of current to the lighting circuit required to light the LEDs. High current will blow out and destroy the LEDs. Start with the bridge rectifier. You will note either a notch or beveled edge on the top along with the markings on the chip, indicated by the tilde symbol and a plus and minus symbol next to each pin. Bend out flat both of the pins labeled with the tilde symbol on the rectifier and leave the positive and negative pins as is. Now cut the DuPont wires 2 inches from the female plug. Strip 1/4 inch off the insulation from the cut ends of both wires and tin with solder the exposed wire. Add 3/8 inch of heat shrink tubing to the short wire with the female plugs. Now solder the wire ends to the pins marked with the tilde symbol on the rectifier. Preferably put the red wire on the pin which is opposite the positive for easier identification. Cover the solder joints with heat shrink and heat with hot air to insulate the solder joints. Now line up the long lead of the capacitor, the positive lead, with the positive pin of the bridge rectifier and solder these together. Repeat with the negative lead of the capacitor soldered to the negative pin of the bridge rectifier. With the flat side of the LED driver chip facing you, identify the VA lead on the left and the VB lead on the right. Bend the VA lead backwards and the VB lead forwards. Cut off the center lead as it will no longer be required. Now solder the VA lead of the LED chip to the positive junction of the capacitor bridge rectifier joint. Trim off the excess leads extending from both capacitor bridge rectifier joints, and you now have the completed LED driver unit with the rectifier, capacitor and LED driver chip soldered together, along with the female DuPont connector wires. The LED circuit is prepared next for connection to this unit. The LED circuit for this caboose is shown here, using the two red 2mm LEDs and one 5mm LED, either yellow or white. The decision to use the yellow or white will depend on the era of the caboose you are working with. Old style wooden cabooses might use the yellow lighting, while the later steel cabooses would use the soft white LED. For identification purposes, the positive lead of each LED is longer than the negative lead. Set out the LEDs as shown. Both positive leads of the red LED shown here are bent inwards next to one another. Twist the positive leads of the red LEDs together as shown and apply solder. Next, solder a bridging wire cut from the black DuPont wire 1.5 inches to the two negative leads of the red LEDs. Finally, solder the positive lead of the white or yellow LED to the negative lead of one of the red LEDs. The lighting circuit can be tested before soldering to the LED driver unit using a 9-volt battery. Connect up the male wires and connect to the 9-volt battery. Touch the positive wires of the red LEDs to the VB lead. Be careful not to touch the VA lead, as the current will be too high and blow out the lights. Now touch the negative wire of the 5mm LED to the wires at the negative side of the bridge rectifier capacitor junction. If the lights work, you can solder these contact points to complete the lighting system. Next, we prepare the cabin. First, mark where the rear lights will be positioned. Here are indicated the common site for the red LEDs, just below the roof and in the rear wall. Drill 2 holes 5/64 at the sites just under the roof to fit the two red 2mm LEDs. The LED should fit snugly into these 2 holes. For more uniform interior lighting, frosted or clear windows can be added to the open windows if desired. Black acrylic or latex paint can be used to blacken the interior cabin to reduce light from being seen through the plastic walls. Allow it to dry while you set up the pickup wheels. Both male DuPont wires are cut down to around 4 inches in length. The ends are stripped and tinned with solder. After the weight plates are removed, an 1/8 of an inch hole is drilled in the floor of the chassis in the central screw hole. The male wires have the cut ends threaded through this hole. This arrangement may vary depending on how the weights are attached in the cabin. Adequate weighting is important for track contact. The wheel sets are set up with each truck receiving one of the wheel sets with the copper collars attached as shown here. The black bands indicate the insulated wheel and are set opposite one another. The trucks are reattached to the chassis. The wires are now curved over the copper collars and soldered It does not matter which wire is soldered to the wheel set. The weight plates are reattached to the chassis floor. Double-sided tape, adhesive or mounting material can be used to secure the plates and prevent movement in the cabin. I use double-sided tape for this step. Now take the light circuit with the LED driver circuit attached and line it up with the red LEDs with the holes in the rear wall by bending the wires until the LEDs can be inserted easily into the holes. Bend the other LED, white or yellow, to face into the cabin. Apply a small dab of CA glue to the rim of the LEDs. I prefer the gel version of this glue as it takes longer to set. Now reinsert the LEDs into the holes and hold in place for about 15 seconds till the glue sets. Then let it sit for about 1 hour to thoroughly cure. Once the glue has set, connect the DuPont wire connectors attached by lining up the openings in the connectors. The cabin can be loosely added to the chassis and the car tested on a powered track. Again, if lighting well, the cabin can be fully reattached. Sometimes extra weight may be necessary to ensure good contact of the wheels with the track. Over dead spots, the lights may dim as the capacitor continues to add current. So now your caboose is ready for the track. If interested in trying this project, the kit mentioned is available at the website modeltrainsounds.com. The regular kit includes the 33-inch wheel sets, which are most common on most cabooses. 36-inch wheel sets are also available on request. Complete instructions, as explained in this video, are also included. So thanks again for viewing, subscribe if you like, and I'll see you with our next project. Bye for now.